Hi and welcome. I thought I could show how to do this thrust exhaust or jet flame in Blender. It looks like this. The good thing about it is that it doesn't require a lot of resources. You don't need any particle effects or volumetrics or anything. So it's a simple way how to get this sort of effect when you're making a rocket ship or a spaceship or something. So this is how it looks in Blender. I made a simple spaceship here, very low poly, and we will turn on rendered mode here. It's pretty simple basically because this is just a plane and then I've animated the ship. So how do you go on about doing this? What we start with is we add a image as a plane, and I will import the image, the PNG image. So that's the look of it now, and to make it glow a little bit we will have to turn on some emission effects, because if we go to rendered preview we will see that this version glows, this doesn't. I will jump into the shading editor. There is our plane or our image. You can do this type of image in a painting program like Krita or GIMP would be possible. Maybe Affinity Photo or something, some similar. It's important that you keep the alpha effect, the transparency of it, and then that you export it as a PNG, so the transparent value gets saved, and then you just import it into Blender as a image as plane. Here is our image. It's connected into our principled BSDF, and by the way I am in the render engine Eevee. It's plugged into the base color and into the alpha, and we can just simply take the color value here and plug that into emission. And if you would like to manipulate the strength of this, you can just add a color ramp node in between here, between the color and emission. And that's all we need to do here in the shading editor. So we will go back out into the layout. I will rotate this in the Z-axis, so a shortcut for that is R to rotate, Z as in the Z-axis, and then 90 degrees, press enter. So now we will have to rotate it 180 degrees, so R as in rotate, Z 180, enter. If we see here, there are several of these to make it more of a 3D effect. This is just flat 2D, but that's a simple, that's easy to fix. We will select our image and go into the edit mode. We will need a bit more geometry to work with, so the Wave Modifier works and has some geometry to play with. So we will use the loop cut tool and cut this, perhaps like that, and a few in the Z-axis as well. And we will duplicate this image A to select all, Shift D. We will press R to rotate in the Y-axis, 90, and enter. And I will also like to have two 45-degree angles as well, so let's just do the same thing. Now it's more of a 3D look. Let's tab out of edit mode and check in our rendered preview. That's how it looks now. We will have to move the origin of this right in front here. So we will tab into edit mode again. We will press A to select all, and we will press G for grab, Y-axis, and we just move it so. Tab out of edit mode, and now we have the origin here in the front of it. Now we will add the Wave Modifier. So with our flame exhaust selected, we go to the Modifier tab, Add Modifier, add a Wave Modifier. If we play this, it looks like a wave or a snake or something. So we will have to manipulate the values here in the Wave Modifier to get the look that we want. We can check out the final result here a bit. So we will see that I have lowered the height quite a bit, changed the width and also the speed. We can press play and manipulate it in real time here. It's just a matter of manipulating the values so you get the motion effect that you want. We can check out here in the rendered preview now. To visualize this a bit better, we can add a simple cube. We will parent the exhaust flame to the cube. The cube symbolizes our ship now. So select the exhaust flame and then hold shift, select the cube. You can right click, go to parent and object. Now when we move the cube, the flame will follow. We can also, as I've been doing here, I've added a simple light source. Shift A to add a light, a point light. We will move it backwards a bit in the y-axis. I will upper the strength a bit. It's only 10 here. I think a value of 50 would be good. And we will change the color, and we can take our color picker and just press here. And we can also parent the light source here to the cube ship as well. So the light is selected. I will hold shift, press on the cube, right click, parent to object. So if we move the cube, everything will follow. And then it's just a matter of animating this by adding some keyframes to make it move like the other ship here. In the first frame, I press I on the keyboard. I will add a keyframe, both location and rotation. I will move to perhaps frame 40, and I will move it upwards a bit, rotate it, press I, location, rotation, go to the last frame, move it down a bit and rotate it a little bit. That's how it looks now. And the cool thing about this is that you can just go into the graph editor and add some noise to our rotation. We will select the Y rotation and go over to the modifier tab. You will press on the modifier, add modifier, select noise. If we play now, we can see that we have too much noise. That's too much for what we're looking for. So on the scale here in our noise, we can press a value of 22, enter. It will still be too much. The strength can go down quite a bit. So I think we can do 0.1, enter. That looks better. Perhaps it's still a bit too much. So a good tip here is to enable the influence and lower this value. That looks better. I will also add a noise modifier to the x-axis. So go over here and select the X rotation. We will add a modifier. We will add noise again. Value 22, enter. Strength 0.1, enter. Let's see how it looks. Perhaps we will also enable the influence and lower that value a bit as well. That's pretty good. Go back to the timeline and check out our results. Enable the rendered mode, press play. So that's how you do it. A simple flame exhaust trick that you can do. And the good thing about it, it doesn't require a powerful computer to do it. It's easy to do it in Eevee. That's everything for this time, and I hope you found this little tip or short tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.